Let's do that.
Yeah, no. So he's having so Riz is having problems connecting to the internet in London. Apparently, London is a third world country. I've always said that. Um, and so is Donald Trump. So we have to stick together. And you're in Pakistan, which apparently
Mhm.
isn't a third world country, and is doing quite well with the internet. So there you go. But the good thing
Mhm.
is I'm going to smoke today a Montecristo when we start the show, and it's got 4 bands. So it's an
I'm gonna,
especial.
I'm gonna spark a Montecristo. It has two bands.
Oh, look, I have more bands than you. Congratulations.
Uh-huh.
So you know, I'm very excited that I have more bands than you. But anyway, I just thought that would
Yep.
be and everyone who followed me on Instagram knows that I'm smoking this Montecristo and drinking Macallan 50. I took a
Yep.
picture of the bottle and the whatchamacallit, so as we like to say, Geo. And if Rizza could get out of a third world country called the United Kingdom, he may get internet. So that would be kind of
I
nice. So,
Right. So are we
so,
live?
so we've been live for the last minute and 9 seconds, but
Oh,
here's what we'll do to make it official.
This is True OF Entertainment.
Welcome to Habano Saturday, the fastest growing cigar show on YouTube with over 100,000 subscribers. Come join us every Saturday live.
yes.
Every Saturday live.
Now, here's the best part about today's show, my friend, is that when you're doing your 5 minute history of Montecristo or 10 minutes or whatever you decide to do, no one's going to time you. So you can just do it. And I'm going to smoke my Montecristo that a friend gave me a box of and enjoy my Montecristo cigars, learning about Montecristo. And then we'll discuss whatever we feel like, or we'll just make fun of Princess because she's not here. So
I agree. Let's do that. So I'm gonna cut. Okay, so for anyone who's watching or will be watching later, this one.
yes. Okay. Let me give you a close up here. There you go.
Okay, so this is a Montecristo Brillantes, which is a Zodiac year release for the year of the Dragon by Habanos.
Ooh.
I'm sure you could see this was one of the cleanest cuts I could make.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. So since it is the year of the dragon, which is about to end very soon because the Chinese New Year starts in a few days.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a week from now if I'm not wrong. So I think it's time that one should just light these up. See, the best part.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing that you can hear.
To you people on the podcast right now that can't see what he's doing, he's lighting his cigar. It's fascinating. There are naked Tahitian girls fanning him while he's doing it. So, which I'm surprised that his wife's letting this happen, but it is. And if you're missing it if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. And the people listening on the podcast, I know you're all in shock. So you'll have to switch over at some point to YouTube and actually see it live. There you go. And while he's lighting his cigar, kids, let's pay a bill, and then we'll be right back. With the new HBN 3-outlet sensing countdown timer with remote control, you can set your whole house up to look like Christmas 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The timer comes with a 2, 4, 6, and 8 hour countdown function. The outlets can be easily operated by hand or by a remote control with the dusk to dawn on and off switch. And they come with 3, 2, and 1 outlet accessories. We use them here at 2OF Entertainment. And we're back. He's done lighting his cigar. It took him all of 30 seconds. See, that was a perfect commercial to go in because nobody wants to watch the Tahitian girls fan you. So, well, I'm really sorry that Princess couldn't be here because I wanted to hear what his rant was going to be this week. But apparently there won't be. So it's going to be it'll be just a cigar show unless he fixes his internet problem. But he did try, and he was outside somewhere.
I can tell you, I am not convinced at his excuse, knowing that it is nothing to do with his internet, but something else.
Oh, okay. The Viagra problem. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
so there you go. So, my friend, it's good to see you. And
Mhm.
anything
Well,
exciting
always
this?
good.
And yeah, it's always good to see you. There was no HERF this week, which it's okay.
No.
And,
So the thing is that New Year's, everyone's just getting used to it and all of that
okay,
stuff, which is why the schedule has not yet been fixed. So I'm
gotcha.
guessing from this week onwards, it should be fixed. We
Right, and
should
they
have.
should just. And I don't know why we're not doing it now on our show for everybody. That should be the
I,
HERF now.
I
There you
agree with
go.
you. I
We should
agree with
change. We should change it to Saturdays this time. This way, everybody from Cigar Keep can watch and be part of the show. And there you go.
you.
Be at a lounge. There you
That's
have it.
that's that's
I
that's
know.
a very, that's a
What
very
do
interesting
I
idea.
know? I know. There
Yeah,
you go.
that's a very interesting idea.
There. Of course, I came up with it. So, all
Of
right. So
course,
now,
of course.
of course, like you saw you heard the music that I played on my Instagram this week. You have to have Jews. So,
Hmm.
you have to have a Jew. That's why. So for the people that don't know, that's from Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot. You won't be
Hmm.
successful on Broadway unless you have a Jew. So there you go. It's on our Instagram. So, my friend, without delay, let us have the history, if you will, with uninterrupted. That's going to be something new. Um, of Montecristo Cigars, and we'll give you the close up, and there you go.
Perfect. This, for some people, just a plain brown, dull-looking band, is one of the six global brands of Habanos known as Montecristo, and was born in 1935, which technically means this is the year when it becomes a 90 years old, standing, good looking, great brand in the Habanos portfolio. So in 1935, uh, Mr. Menendez opened this brand, and they were a success right from the beginning. So much so that in 1937 they actually purchased the H. Upman factory and the H. Upman brand,
Mm.
and the entire production of Montecristo was shifted to the H. Upman factory in Havana. Again, because of this being a global brand, the entire leaves and everything comes from Pinar del Rio, and is considered to be one of those widely accepted brands in the Habanos portfolio that are liked and loved by a lot in the world. To an extent that till a few years ago, the Montecristo number 2, which is a pyramid shape, was the highest sold cigar in the Habanos portfolio, which is, if I'm not wrong, now taken over by the Partagas D4. Let's see what this year has to bring in, and we'll know more about it. As far as the Montecristo cigars are concerned, if you see, there will be a similarity because of the H. Upman and Montecristo initially being owned by the same ownership. There are some similarities in the vitolas of Montecristo and H. Upman, but now Montecristo generally has been divided into four linea or lines. One is the linea classica, which is all your Montecristo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Montecristo tubos, Montecristo A, Montecristo B, and we have someone joining in from some backyard. I don't know what backyard that is, and
Yeah,
what backyard he
I
goes
was meant to
into
be out in the
after
field,
every
but
every
reception's
couple of
crap.
weeks where he's thrown out and he doesn't get internet, but whatever.
yeah.
Okay, so
Whatever.
yeah, so this is this. Oh, see again, Stephen. The problem is we
Yes.
we have to get this boy disciplined. I mean, he's just interrupted my 5 minutes again. Oh my god!
And I thought you were going to go 5 minutes uninterrupted. I apologize. Well, here you go. So,
Have another
Ruin my moments of joy.
enjoy. Carry on. I'm
Right.
embarrassed.
as you should, as just to let
Good,
you know,
good.
as you should be with all the comments now that are
I
coming in.
actually was really dying to be on the show today because
Right.
as much as I enjoy Stephen's company today, I wanted to hear Usman's report of his cigar event yesterday evening. That's what I was really interested
Well,
in.
we're going to do that after he's doing the Montecristo Hero. And just so you know, the cigar analysis says first live stream, let's go. and we're trying to, but this is late, like usual. So it is what it is. So we're going to let our sommelier, the number one sommelier cigar guy in the world, Usman, continue with the story of Montecristo, and then we'll hear about his debauchery of last night. And Rizzo, I'm sure, will go
I
off on a
won't
tangent
interrupt
later.
him. Usman,
Oh
carry
my
on, man.
God! So if you
You go
guys
ahead
are
and
taking
interrupt me, that's fine.
if you're taking bets in Vegas, if Rizzo will interrupt Usman or not, we have 10-1. There you go. All right, David, continue.
Right. So after the Linea Classica, then we have Linea Edmundo, which is Edmundo, Double Edmundo, Petit Edmundo, some very fine cigars there. Then they have Linea Open, which was initially launched to support the sports category and has an additional green band on it. So the cigars in that are Linea Open Junior, Master, Regatta, and then there was a new one which came out last year, Open Slam.
I like
And
that name.
and the most, I would say, exclusive slash fancy slash highly priced, highly value, and really superb line in the Montecristo linea is called as the Linea 1935. Again, symbolizing to the start or birth of the linea or of the brand. So Linea 1935 has again three Vitolas, Dumas, Maltese, and Lineada. uh, Montecristo has been crowned to have the limited edition cigars by at least 7 or 8 times since the cigars have been launched and the limited edition series has started. So this is one of those brands which is a great stalwart in the Habanos portfolio. And as I mentioned, number two, Montecristo number two has been the largest selling cigar for many years. I am guessing Nada is smoking that one, and I figured only from the fact that there was a slant cut. So that tells me that this is a Montecristo number two.
Very cool. And is that the history of the month? And I'm smoking this one that you guys all saw on Instagram, the
Yep.
Especial, that has 40. I just took one of the bands off. It has 47 more bands to go because it's very special. Apparently, it's just dropped in bands. So that was very cool. Rizzy, he did it in about 5 minutes without you
Did he
interrupting
tell you
him.
why Montecristo cigars are called Montecristo?
No, he
You
hasn't.
know that.
Way to go.
Huh?
No, why is it called Montecristo? Old Salmone.
It's after the
Oh.
Count of Monte Cristo story.
You want see the problem is if I go in there, then it'll be more than 5 minutes and you'll start pushing me. That's why I didn't go there.
Usman,
Mhm.
I love listening to your histories.
Yes,
I
tell
won't
us.
interrupt you again.
Yes, tell us the history of why it's called Montecristo. I'm assuming it's the Count of Montecristo,
All these
which you can buy.
factories, all these
Bella.
factories, in order to they didn't have TV in Cuba, and they didn't have the full radio apart from state radio and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So to keep all the rollers entertained, you would have one of the people in charge of the factory manager, would often read from books. And they would have favorite books that they would like to be read to. And The Count of Monte Cristo in one particular factory was one of their favorite books. So everything surrounding The Count of Monte Cristo, the author Alexandre Dumas. So hence in the
And
Monte
hence the
Cristo range,
name Dumas in Linea 1935.
yeah, Dumas is
Right.
French. They tend not to pronounce the S, but I don't know in Spanish if they do it or not. But
Yep.
it's that sort of folklore history.
Okay.
Once you've picked an author and you've picked a book title, then some of the characters like Edmundo, Dantes, all of these characters sort of somehow make themselves into the Vitola names, as I hope Usman will confirm for you.
Well, thank you very much for adding to it. And yes, that's true. And hence, as I said, the name Dumas for the Linea 1935 comes from that.
Very nice. Look what we've learned today. We've learned about the Montecristo sandwich. I mean, the cigar. It's a beauty. I love it. So it's very good. Yes, we're all smoking Montecristos. And,
Yeah,
and according to Frank, who's all our best friends apparently this week, he loves the band. So, and Rizza, did you invite Frank on the show yet?
Just on the band part, on this particular one,
Yeah.
the petite number 2,
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that one of the little developments that they did on the band from the very traditional one, they had a couple of gold circles in sort of a copper colored. Can you see the slightly metallic element on that?
Yes,
Oh,
sir, we
sure.
can.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
before it used
God.
to be flat, there was no metallic. No, but in terms of understatement, I think that's really quite
Right.
nice. It's got the old world feel. I think it will
Yeah.
always have that old world feeling. If they change this band too drastically, I think they'll lose the history of that, that Montecristo kind of line. So it's a brown, white, and I say it's not really gold. Actually, it's a copper kind of color. I don't know if you can see it
Yeah.
clearly. It's metallic, but I actually like it. And the more we talk about it, the more I like it.
Okay. Today would have been a great show to have Frank on, because then he could have talked about the design of the band, and then you guys could have discussed why you don't think he likes it.
I thought Raja was going to invite him, no?
Hey, you know how
I,
Riz is.
I,
He
I, I
invite.
did I did ask him, so it's
Yeah.
up to Frank to join.
Well, no, Frank needs the. Frank
He
would actually
flies
need the
around a
link.
lot. He travels a lot, so I don't know if that was fitting into
Ah,
his schedule. But I'm
ah,
sure one of these days we'll have him on I don't want him to answer why he doesn't like. I just want him to tell me what he would do different. You know
yeah.
what I mean? But once again, I've always liked this band. It's got some surety to it. You know what I mean? It's like a sort of
Yeah.
like one of those anchors that doesn't move too much.
Right,
So
right.
that's the feeling that you get from this
Well,
this
and
band.
this one, the Especial, is I just took off the 87 bands, and we just have this one. This one's a little different, so it's very nice because it's non-Cuban, but it's still a very
Uh-huh.
nice cigar, and it's a nice little smoke. There's not a lot of flavor, but there's a lot of smoke, and you know what they say: where there's smoke, there's a cigar. So we're good. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, it's not a
Hmm.
bad smoke. Hey, listen, I can't complain. It was a gift. Like, they gave me a box of 10 of them as a gift, and I was like, thank you very much. And I've enjoyed smoking them. So they're nice. And I'm also
Perfect.
smoking, for those people that are in Celsius weather, 1. And I'm outside in 1. So yeah, I'm enjoying my smoke in 1. So for the people in America, that's 32, 33 Fahrenheit. So yes.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. So I'm enjoying it. And I've just watched 3 birds freeze to death and fall from the sky. So it's a nice day.
Okay. Having
So
said that,
yeah.
can I know why do you look like Thomas Shelby today, Raza?
Who do I look like? Thomas Shelby.
Yeah, because why do we see the Peaky Blinders hat today?
Well, basically, I'm outside because my plan was. So
Yeah.
I'm in northwest London. I'm at a place called Arc Cigars in Whetstone. Let's put the
Right.
photos in there. My plan today was to do a sort of a field report from the front of this establishment.
Okay.
London is too cold, too windy.
Mm.
So this is their sort of like their back area, their VIP area. As you can see, it's VIP. Right, and I've used this place once before. On this particular one, and I'm finding the acoustics are quite nice here. But I just wanted to be out in the field today. I contemplated going to a couple of places this morning, but I thought this one is a little bit of a cheeky little favorite where most cigar smokers that I know who smoke with me in town tend not to come because it's a bit up north for them in terms of London. And I just wanted to have that kind of solo feeling today.
Okay. Well, let me just Cigar Artisan says, what are your guys' favorite box worthy of general release Montecristos? Number 1, and number 2, from the Cigar Analyst, he said Steve is wearing his villain jacket that is weather as well as all. So there you go. So I'm dressed as a Bond villain like usual, and I'm wearing my Bond villain jacket. And behind me, I have the naked Tahitian girls fanning me to keep me nice and warm. So, but what are the boxes, gentlemen, of Montecristo that general release that we like?
Okay, so as I said, Montecristo number 2 is an all-time great cigar. I mean, one cannot go wrong with that.
Right.
For the longest time, I have smoked Montecristo number 3, being my first cigar, or as they say, the first love. So I thoroughly enjoy Montecristo number 3s whenever I get to find them anymore. Now I think they're too small for me and finish too early, which is why I don't generally buy them.
I thought that
Other
we were
than,
talking about something else. Never mind. Go ahead. So,
yeah. And other than that, I would say the Montecristo Edmundo is also a great cigar, which I
okay.
really like. So these two, three cigars within the Montecristo are really nice. Oh yes, this White Edmundo is a very interesting new devil that has come out in the market, and
Okay.
a very, very fine cigar. I don't know why we can not get it focused, and who did Raza nick this cigar off, but fine.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, I like the Monte Cristo #2, so I agree with you on that. But I will tell you, these especials, and I don't know if they're a limited run or not, but they're non-Cuban, are a wonderful smoke. So if you can't get Cubans, these little Monte Cristos are good. The other Monte Cristos I've had in the States, I'm unimpressed with. They underwhelm me, but this one is a good smoke. So
Very good.
and Riza is now whatchamacallit. Riza has decided he's
It's
just
in stream with audio only.
yes, he's audio only. Which isn't bad.
Hmm.
Rizzo, would you like to say no? He's probably trying to whatchamacallit now. He's trying to light up or something. He's trying to be cool. You know how it is.
Right. So while
Tell
we
me
were
about your
talking,
event. Yeah, tell me
okay,
about
yeah.
your event.
So we had a huff last night that I had organized. It was our first huff in Lahore for 2025 under the platform of Cigar Keep.
Oh,
As one of the ambassadors, I was hosting the huff, and I invited. It was an event. It was an invite-only event with some fine gents from Lahore who have been like my brothers of the leaf for some time, and are some serious cigar smokers. And when I say serious cigar smokers, the ones who actually understand what cigars are lovers of Habanos, and uh, I would say subscribe to adapt to the cigar culture and cigar lifestyle.
mm,
Were there in the audience, or in presence, or for the ones who actually graced the occasion. Uh, we had organized it at a place which serves some very fine Japanese, Korean, and Thai food. So
oh,
we had ordered some sushi and all that for ourselves, and then the cigar menu last night contained one of those extremely gorgeous looking cigar which has just been released in a travel humidor format. Was an initial release, or was an old release but then was discontinued, which is the Quai d'Orsay Imperialis, and then now last year or 2 years ago had been re-released as a travel humidor version. So we cracked open a box of Quai d'Orsay Imperialis, and enjoyed that as one of our cigars. So yes, it was really good. We were kindly joined by few of the ambassadors of Cigar Keep who are from the Pakistani origin, including
nice.
His Royal Highness Reza, and then a few of other friends. How as well as we had some
I
video.
interrupted. I interrupted. Usman had started the event. I thought this is the best time to give Usman a call, but he very graciously took the call and passed the phone around the group.
Oh,
I
very
enjoyed that.
nice. That was very
Yeah.
nice. Really, Usman, you should have called me. We would have done that live, just for fun. So you have to remember, we own the channel. We can do whatever we want, and the
Nice.
fans would love it. Remember, the fans would love it because a lot of fans can't, on a whim, just fly to Pakistan. One, because Donald Trump won't let us leave the country now, and Elon Musk, aka Hitler.
What are you talking about? He has been the
Okay,
most
okay.
productive president you've ever had. 10 orders on the day one. What are you talking about?
Oh my God! Listen, um, deportation orders, if you consider that productive, is great. Killing COP29 and getting out of the Paris Peace Accords, I'm okay with that. Killing diversity, I'm okay with that. But some of the let's not get carried away yet, okay? And then you got Elon Musk doing the cute little salute there. It goes, "Oh, you're taking out a contest." I'm like,
What
yeah, I
salute
don't
was it? What I didn't see it.
think-
What did it
you
look
didn't
like?
see, you didn't see the zing heil he
What?
did?
No,
I can't
what
do
did
that.
what did it look like?
I'm sorry. I'm Jewish. We don't do that salute. Yeah,
You know what he could have done. You know what he could have done. He could
he
have
could
done
have
this.
touched himself in
It was just
sanctuary.
watch. All he had to do From my heart to yours. That's all he had to do.
Instead of touching
From
himself.
my heart to yours.
Yes.
The only thing is, his name is Elon Musk, not Raza.
Yeah,
If it
that's
was
true.
you would have done that poetry. You would have done that poetry with it. So
He could
that's
have
why.
done it. He could have done this, like
Yeah.
we all do. He could have done this,
He
but
could have
instead
done
he
this.
did.
Geo.
Yes, he could have done the Geo and
Geo.
given us credit, but instead he did the Geo, and then he raised his arm.
I think sometimes I overstep the mark. Not very often. Sometimes I overstep the mark. I think he's just a bit of a knob end and he got carried away.
No, I think he knew exactly what he was doing. He's been in front of the media for 20 plus years. You don't get carried away. The other thing is that when we put out the short last week of how what you really feel about Elon Musk being an effing monkey, that exploded not only on YouTube but on Instagram. So apparently a lot of people agree with you. And yesterday, or I should say yesterday live, we had Guy Standing on Lost Dollar Business Club, who just Lost Dollar just re-aired now. And he went through a whole thing about Musk and Trump. So if you want to hear what a world famous economist has to think about Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all the oligarchs, that's an interesting show. So
yeah, I mean, really, what we think doesn't really amount to a hill of beans, as they say. But having said that, to stay quiet on things like that in itself is to be complicit in stupidity. In stupidity, at best, it's stupidity.
Yep.
And at worst, it's pre-planned, pre-orchestrated nonsense. Yeah. But you can't stay silent on these things. If you have a strong opinion, you should air it.
I agree. That's what the show is about. The show is for the people that are watching, our new fans, the cigar analyst who this is his first one. Congratulations. I'm assuming he means the show, not a girl. But if this is your first show, we try to make this like if you're at your chemist smoking cigars with your mates. What are you going to talk about? We'll have a sommelier, like an Usman, that will tell you a history of something. And then you have the guys sitting around talking about what's going on in the world. That's what we do.
Actually, Usman, it's just occurred to me, the penny just dropped. You're wearing the same fucking hat.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, not really.
Is Usman's video frozen? He's just looking down.
It's been frozen. It's been frozen since we started. I think he just put a picture of himself up there. And then that was it. Like the only time live that we actually saw him was when he did his cigar, and then the rest of it, I think he's just taking a nap, and he just has a picture there listening. He's lying on the couch. So there you go. That's what I think is going on. So,
yeah, okay, if you say so. I thought it was Raza who was having internet problems today.
I was not having internet problems. I was actually having difficulty moving around to a place where I could get the correct connection. I'm using Wi-Fi. I have full data, but in this country, having full data means that you have it 10% of the time.
Okay.
Right? This is how perverse and backward and broken the world is. Having the latest iPhone with full data, unlimited everywhere, means you only get it 10% of the time.
Nice.
So I can have a rant and rave about that, and I think I just did.
Why?
Why?
Because
What's
nothing fucking works. Nothing works. Post-COVID, everything is working less. You're getting less value, dramatically less value for money. Everything is more expensive, works less, and you're meant to pay. And the problem is, we generally, as consumers, don't complain other than on social media and forums like this. Yeah.
Right.
The real complaint is just don't use those services. Vote with your feet, vote with your money. But unfortunately, the bind is so fucking strong that you can't get out of it that quickly, and that's the problem.
Well, it's like shrinkonomics. So like you buy a bag of potato chips that was used to be X and now it's Y and it's same price, but Y is a lot less. Yeah. So yeah, it's the same. It's a good point. But to go back to Mr. Trump, who is graciously considering coming on our show because he realizes that he can, get to our people. And I'm not sure what he means by get to our people. So I'm not sure. But he's going to come on and talk about why Cuba is still a terrorist country and why we can't now import cigars to the United States as of February 1st, even though they're lobbying it. But Cuba now has gone back on the terrorist watch list. So the Usman is safe. He can get his Cuban cigars.
That is okay. On the two parts of that. One, I must officially on record say that is the worst thing that could have been done, because I think and I personally think the competition is supposed to happen amongst the likes of each other,
Hmm.
or where you have the same weights.
Right.
Now, United States saying this to a very small country doesn't suit United States, first of all. And I must say, I would respect the Cuban people for standing their grounds, whatever those grounds are,
Right.
since
Right. Right.
they've been there. So that's that. But on the other side, I'm happy because you guys don't take or steal our habanos, which are already very lessened because they're going to all other countries and not coming to us. So yes, at least we're safe for a little while this way.
And a cigar analyst. I agree with what you said there. And the cigar analyst says Trump is now releasing the JFK. Nice background. The
Oh
JFK
yes.
MLK files. So he just said, be careful of what you say now, gents, going forward. And that's probably a true statement because I'm sure that the people that he released from prison that stormed the Capitol for the insurrection 4 years ago are now going to be hunting people. It's going to be like the Purge. I'm very excited about this. So it's going to be like America's going to be like a movie. I will say though, economically, we seem to be doing a lot better. He did whatchamacallit. He did back down on his rhetoric with China about we're going to do tariffs and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And I chuckled because now they're going to do a study. But Mexico and Canada, he's killing with tariffs, which is fine. And China, I think I was talking to someone last night, and they have a mega company in China, and they're going to come to the United States, and they are bringing they said it's $1 billion. That's the fee to pay, and they're going to come and bring their $1 billion plus to start doing a lot of deals, and they're very excited about that. So in that respect, I give Donnie a lot of credit. I think 50% of what he's doing is good. 50% of what he's doing is going to be like, oh, what the F are you thinking about, pal? And I think it's, we just have to see how it plays. So I'm tongue in cheek right now. He's not even been in office a week. So, in 2 years, we'll see you'll see where we really are as a country and the world, because the world, now is shaking because he's around. So, but he looks less orange all of a sudden. He is not as orange as he used to be. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I liked it when he was orange, and now he's like looking like a normal guy. Like, Donnie, I need you back to the orange, man. I don't like this now. This new look you got going on, like a normal guy. And Melinda seems to be hanging out with him a lot more, his wife. So that's exciting. So,
Oh yes. While Raza fixes whatever background he
background,
chooses.
we're just trying to pick his background here.
Yeah.
So,
Raza, are you done with your shenanigans of the backgrounds, or
I
are you
was
still
enjoying that actually. I've never done this before. I've got a bit more of a background here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long show, kids. So, and last, I will tell you
I've
this.
just discovered
Also,
you can change them.
yes, you can. I will also tell you what. Congratulations! It's like a kid in kindergarten that just found out he can tie the shoes. Last week's show on the podcast side was one of our highest rated podcast shows when we did the history of Hoya de Monterrey and UFOs. So kudos to you two gentlemen. That's in our top 5 shows of all times on the podcast side, not the YouTube side.
Wow.
So, well, go figure.
I suspect the Montecristo one is going to be quite interesting too, because it's going to be because a lot of people know about Montecristo cigars.
Right.
Fucking hell, I run out of gas on this as well.
Oh my God, he's not good.
It's a bit of a disaster
today.
It's a bit of a disaster today, but it is what it is.
So, I'm thinking Montecristo is one of those cigars, even if you don't smoke cigars, you've heard of it.
Yes. Montecristo and Romeo and Julietas are two names which generally people have heard of.
Yeah. To me, it's like if I'm sitting somewhere, I know the Montecristo band. Like, there's not a lot of heavy lifting there. Like, I see it, I'm like, that's a Montecristo. Now, whether it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a pure, different story. But I know the Montecristo. And there's certain cigars you just don't know. But Montecristo is one of them.
Yeah. See, if you see the Flor de Lis that is in there, that is also something which is very synonymous with the Montecristo brand, and very easily people can recognize that this is what they're talking about.
Right. And it's one of those cigars that a normal person you can buy a non-Cuban Montecristo in America, and they've got an array of brands here that are do very well. People smoke them because, once again, I think Montecristo is one of those brands for the new cigar smokers that's like it's old world to them. Even though it was founded in the 30s, it doesn't go back as far as the others. And I think for them, it's like, oh, it's Montecristo.
Why
You
is
know,
Usman in the circle of hell that's just going round and round?
he's not.
What?
He's fine.
All I have is a circle of hell going round and round. Can you see
Yeah,
Usman?
yeah, he's right there. He's right
Yeah,
there.
Usman.
it's fine. The fact that
Usman.
you're in North
Random quiz question. Why does the Montecristo logo have the fleur de lis in the middle?
Oh, okay. So it goes back to, or it shows that there are sayings about the fact that it represents the what they say. I'm forgetting the name of the gentleman who was more to do with these armed things and something like that. Raza, can you remind me of that? I'm still a bit
Okay.
confused.
This goes very specifically, right, back to Alexandre Dumas, right,
Oh yeah.
who wrote The Count of Monte Cristo. Okay. He also wrote The Three Musketeers,
I had one of those the other day. They were wonderful.
which actually has four musketeers in it, but it's called The Three Musketeers,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And the Three Musketeers, as musketeers, on their uniform, wore the fleur de lis.
Yeah, very true.
Because the fleur de lis is a representation of royalty in France linking back to Christ. So there's those little symbolism, symbology, etc., etc., etc. But people love to wear fleur de lis on their pinky finger. Actually, you should only really wear it if you're King Charles or you're descended from your landed royalty, let's call it like that.
Okay.
People like to wear it as a fashion statement, even though, it's a fashion statement.
Right.
But that's where it comes from. Usman, you're still in the circle of hell there. Still go round.
So
and round.
on my screen,
I'm perfectly fine here, but I wanted to be very sure what you're saying. Hence, my version says that there's no documentary evidence for this. However,
I just told you
the
that
fact-
is
the fact that-
exact reason.
yeah, the fact that the brand's logo, which features the rapiers and the fleur de lis, is unchanged since the earliest days of the brand, seems to corroborate the story. It was very common for cigar brands at the time to be named after pop culture artifacts.
Yeah,
Very
the pop culture
interesting.
artifact in this
Thanks
case.
to my all-time guide by the very, very true gentleman Alexander Groom, Habano
Dumas.
Saturday.
yeah. Well, very cool. And according to the cigar analyst Rizzo, tell us if this is true or false. Montecristo holds a significance for Rizzo, with the link to his father. This is his
He's
cigar key
correct.
profile.
He's
Yeah,
correct.
these are the ones you used to steal from your dad's humidor.
These are the first cigars I used to steal. It's very correct. Thank you for bringing this up, cigar analyst, aka Ali. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's Ali. It's Ali. That's Ali.
It is indeed. It is.
Hello, Ali. How you doing? I bowled on you the other day. It was wonderful. Anyway, but no, that's nice. But that's what I'm saying. Montecristos or older brands like Cohibas, Davidoff, all these brands for guys our age, there's a significance to it. For a lot of the other people, there's not a lot of significance to it because it's just not there. You know what I mean? They weren't there. They don't understand it. So it's all the new brands. It's like the Rocky Patel brand. It's like this brand. It's that brand. So a lot of these older brands have, like Romeo and Julieta, they have a significance for guys of a certain age because those are the old cigars we all grew up with our grandfathers and this and that, and before the embargo that we have. So yeah, so I like that.
Agreed, totally agreed.
Yeah. So, and that's an important thing. And I think for a lot of us, and we've talked about this in other shows, cigars bring us back to a time, I want to say, of calm. You know what I mean? It's like you have your 1 hour or 2 hour mini holiday and you sit with your mates and you enjoy the company of that, and with no technology. And theoretically, that's kind of what we do on the show, except we use technology to bring us into everybody's home. But other than that, that's it. Like nobody's on their phone. Nobody can. It's like, this is it. It's just us.
Yeah.
And the fans.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
Usman still didn't tell us how yesterday evening went.
I told you already.
You just told it. He told us it went great, and you called to
while,
interrupt.
while you were playing with your backgrounds and trying to be in North Korea. I told the story.
Yeah. He told Dakota he had a herf. It was very nice. I mean, you and I didn't get the invitation apparently, but it's fine.
I did.
And I
Oh, you
didn't. I
didn't.
don't. No, I don't. He only likes me on Saturdays. I understand. So
Saturday, Stephen.
The fact
Saturday, Stephen.
the fact that you both need or the point that
Here
you
we go.
said
Here's the
you
back.
both need-
Here's the rewind. The rewind's coming. Just listen to the rewind. Go on. Carry on, Usman.
Yeah. So the fact that you want an invite
Passive aggressive.
is the fact that you both need an invite is really sad to hear.
My
That's
friend,
that's like if you don't gate crash a party, you said, but you're more than welcome to come. But if you gate crash it,
I know his invite to us is anytime I have a thing, you are more than welcome to show up. So my point is we didn't know you were having it, so I couldn't show up. Anyway, good morning. There's a gentleman called the guest. And I'm not sure if those are Gene's, but he says, "Good morning from Kansas. How are you guys doing?" We're doing fine. Apparently, we're watching RZA in a circle, but I'm not. I see him kind of, sort of. And our RZA's normal. Usman apparently is in a circle. And there you go.
Usman is in a circle. It's called.
He's
It
still
used to be called. You know when we had these. We started getting these Apple laptops, sort of like 25 years ago. You would have the circle that just would go round and round as the software was loading, and it was called the circle of death. It was called.
That's it. And the cigar analyst is saying Usman is still frozen in the circle of death. So
as long as we can hear him.
That's actually very strange. That's actually very strange. I can hear everything and I can see you guys perfectly fine. And I have no UFOs today, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Usman, just admit it. You took the picture. You're sitting there. Now you're in your undies, smoking a cigar, eating a sandwich, dripping all over yourself. And this way, you look like you're here, but you can just sit in the other room. You know, he's talking.
Usman, leave and come back.
We'll miss him.
Leave and come back.
He wants you to exit and come back. Oh, let's see what happens when he comes back. If he can come back.
That was easy. That was easy. Now lock him out. Lock him out now. Lock him out.
We got rid of him finally. I know, right? Now we finally got rid of him. Thank God. So that's too funny.
Finally, we're alone.
Finally, it's just us and the fans, all 100,000 of them. But no, Usman was saying that there was no cigar herf this Thursday. And I was very sad to hear that. And I said, you guys should just have the herf on Saturdays and just have it on the show. We can do the history, have the fans talk about cigars. I mean, that would be the most educational show on YouTube about cigars. So there you go. So you guys that are part of the Cigar Keep, there you have it.
There you go. That fixed the problem.
Oh my God, he's moving. He's alive. No, not really. He's still himself. Anyway,
yeah, I can finally see you. It was that sort of that connection.
Okay, and for the guest from Kansas who apparently is just getting up. He says, "I'm sorry that I'm late. What are you guys smoking?" We're all smoking Montecristos. I'm smoking a Montecristo Especial that had 47 bands on it. RZA, yes. I think RZA's smoking the number 2 or number 3, or what are you smoking?
Petit number 2.
Okay. And what are you smoking, Usman?
And I am smoking Montecristo Brillantes.
So there you have it.
Which is the Zodiac sign release for the Year of the Dragon.
There you go. There you have it. So that's what we were all smoking, and then we were kind of making fun of politicians around the world and Elon Musk's Zing Heil of earlier in the week. So I think that's pretty much, we've caught up everybody to the show now. Gentlemen, is there anything else you want to say to the fans or discuss before we say goodbye to everybody, or do we have more to go? RZA,
you should ask more questions. You should ask Usman very specific questions about not just Cuban cigars. Usman,
I hate these pop quizzes.
You are the number one sommelier in the world when it comes to cigars.
If we're not going to ask you those questions, who are we going to ask those questions? But let me emphasize, Usman knows more than just Cuban cigars. He knows his way around quite a few of the non-Cuban brands, even though they are now thousands in number. There's just no end of them. Every would-be cigar aficionado seems to be launching their own little brand,
Right.
and but that's nice actually. That's actually sort of everyone wants to be sort of like included into this cachet of cigar smokers,
Right.
and actually in some ways nice. In fact, perhaps just because that on a theme that's been running for the past 2 weeks on here, people will design some really nice bands that go on their cigars. One of the bands that I really enjoy, I don't know if Usman will confirm this. I like the parrot design on the. Usman, do you know which cigars I'm talking about? The New World cigars. They have parrots on them.
That's actually something which I don't. Oh, are you talking about the El Septimos?
Not the El Septimos. These are. Oh God, it's gone out of my brain right
All
now.
right. While you're thinking about that, cigar analyst wants to know from Usman, favorite New World cigar brand after Davidoff, and best time in all of history to be a cigar fan.
Right. Okay. So favorite cigar in the New Worlds for me is always, and I wouldn't say after Davidoff. Favorite non-Cuban brand or
Padron.
absolutely. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Is a Padron any given day for me because
I just
I
thought I would
feel
steal your thunder.
yeah there is a history. Well, there's a history to a lot of them, but I personally like Padrons the most.
I like the
That
1926 number 2.
yeah.
That's my favorite Padron cigar. Oh, by the way, the cigar with the parrot is called, I'm going to screw up the last name, San Cristobal or something.
Yeah, San Cristobal's. Yeah,
There you go.
those are
That's
There's a
thank you.
San Cristobal. There's a certain range. They look very attractive to the eye. So
Yeah.
if you're not
I've never
really,
smoked one. Is it any good? The guest
you could
knows it.
probably get. I've never smoked one either, but it just is
Okay.
for me, it's like an attractive design. And if
Okay.
you're going to eat with your eyes first or smoke with your eyes first, that's a cigar. If I saw
Okay.
that on a rack and I had no bloody choice but to pick out a New World cigar, I'd pick that out and try it.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
You
But
can
you
get
know,
them there in the USA. I'm
yeah,
sure you
no
can get them.
kidding. I'm sure we can. And the other thing, because they're New World, the other thing which is interesting, we talk about these, he mentioned Davidoff. A couple weeks ago, I don't know if they saw the show, the Davidoff that Rizza had an orgasm over was their year of whatever. What's the year of
Snake.
It was the
the
year of the
year of the
snake.
snake? The
It
year of
was
the
the
snake.
Lancero.
That was actually his cigar of the year for 2024.
Bloody hell,
Excuse
the
me.
world has
Yeah.
changed, isn't it? My
Though,
God, how did
though,
I pick that?
though,
I did. And I think so. It deserved it, but I'm still surprised why I said that out loudly. I
You
enjoyed it
called
that
it.
much. I enjoyed it that much. That's why I said it. So it was well deserved.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
the,
and
the
and
fact that that cigar was actually launched for now, and
yeah.
he's termed it as a cigar of year for last year is also very interesting.
Yes. Very interesting. And then just to let you know, the guest says the Padron 97 Black. I've never had that one. Is amazing. I've only really smoked the Padron. They have like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I've smoked the 7, which I enjoyed. And then I've only smoked the 1926s. I've had a couple 1964s, but I really just like the 1926. My problem is for the price they charge because they're box pressed. I'm kind of like I want them to be hand rolled, not box pressed for that kind of money.
Can
That's
I
just
ask
because.
Usman a quick question?
Sure.
Usman, I've not smoked many Padrones. Actually, I had one Padron maybe 6 or 7 months ago. Very good friend of mine, Minesh, Cubans only, actually. He gave it to me. He said, if I smoke a cigar that's not Cuban, it's Padron. If there's a brand I smoke, it's Padron. What is that? To me, it was slightly forgettable. What is distinctive about the Padron? What do you get out of it that sort of like, is it a richness
For
of
me,
aroma and flavor, balance? What is it that you get from it that,
for a person like me who is a biased Habano smoker, and I have no denial, I love the Habanos and Cubans. That is the closest to what I get in any New World cigars, where I can actually have flavor profiles and aroma that I can really taste from the cigar, as compared to all the other New Worlds where it is lots of smoke and not much flavor. But Padrones, I feel, give me that satisfaction. So that
okay?
is one of the core reasons for me. So to me, they are the closest match to a Cuban cigar.
Yeah. Why not just smoke Cuban?
Well, that I said, if I do not have a choice,
Cuban.
and that's what I said. The question
And,
was, that's what I said.
yeah. And then the other one is We have, what are your thoughts on the regional type limited release Davidoffs?
I don't know, regional type release Davidoffs and all of that. I don't really. For me, Davidoffs a very good cigar. It's a very good brand. It has an amazing history to it. The fact that it was a Cuban brand initially and all that. But to me, sometimes they seem like so perfect that
Right.
I sometimes have this confusion if they are hand rolled or not.
Gotcha.
So that level of perfection and precision, I miss that artisanship and that.
If Ferrari
There we go.
shut their operations in Maranello and said, we're now going to build our cars in Egypt.
Right. Is that your statement? That's it?
Yeah. See, he freezes and he tells that we are the ones who are not good internet connection.
I know. Okay, so
No,
here's
no,
from
no,
the.
no. I was waiting for a reaction. I'm here.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, if they're still handmade, it doesn't matter who makes them as long as the artisan making them
we're
is
going to
the
make
professional.
Ferraris. We're going to make Ferraris in a small industrial unit outside Cairo.
Okay, it'll be cheaper to buy.
And they're going to be made
Raza,
by hand.
I'll answer that.
No,
See,
it didn't need an answer. It was just a contemplation.
You gave a statement. Now let me answer that. See,
But you don't
I
ask
have
for a statement. A statement just hangs.
So do I, actually.
Whatever. See, a Ferrari can be made in Cairo, in Chichavatri, in Pakistan, or in India, or wherever, as long as the components and the parts and everything and the technology is coming from the same source and that is not changed, I do not have a problem. In Davidoff's case and in Cigar's case, the situation is they were being produced in Cuba, which was in Cuban soil, and now they're not.
Right.
No, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. If the Ferrari was made in Egypt and you're sourcing all the materials locally, it will change the flavor, nature, history of the product.
Thank you very much. So that's what I'm saying. So
that's exactly the point I'm making.
No, but a car is different than a cigar, guys.
Yes,
it's the same
soil's different. Soil's different than metal. Not really. I mean, in my opinion, I think Ferrari's crap. So unless it's just a Testarossa or a 250 or something, or a 458 Scuderia. Other than that, they all look like or an F40 or an Enzo. They all look like crap.
Or a Ferrari or an F50.
Yeah, other than that, the rest of the
or a
new
599 or a 550 or a 575.
No, I'm not a fan of any of those. I think they look like shit. So here's the question: Cigar Analyst says the Sancho Panza, in his opinion, is the ugliest band. I'm not. Is that, and that may be true.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So Ali, I wouldn't use the word ugliest when it comes to the Sancho Panza band. I would say it is one of the most classic and old world looking band. The fact that it is not one of the global brands or the high-end brands, maybe that's why there is not so much of money put in it, and that's why it is still the same. And the fact that it has very less vitolas, maybe the reason. But I must say, Sancho Panza cigars are some real nice cigars. I mean,
there's some fucking good cigars. The Sancho Panza is a good cigar.
He didn't say anything about the cigar. He just talked about the band. So he may love the cigar. He's just saying he doesn't like the band. He thinks the band could probably.
But let me slightly reverse spin that. Yeah.
Okay.
If the product is good, you start liking the band. You start appreciating. You start getting an appreciation of why. You kind of reverse engineering your thought process on that.
Right.
Smoke of around the Sancho Panza Vitolas, and as Usman says, they're very, very interesting cigars. They're very interesting cigars.
Absolutely.
And some of them, the Sancho Panza Bellicosos, is actually good bang for buck as well.
Absolutely.
Comparatively, I think one of the Sancho Panzas is almost the largest Cuban Vitola, the Sancho Panza Sanchos. Am I right?
Yes, that's a discontinued Vitola now, and the only Vitola now in that size is available in the brand that we are smoking today, which is
your favorite cigar. Your favorite cigar.
Yeah, my favorite cigar when I have to listen to Raza for 3 hours. That's the time. That's the only time I smoke Montecristo is when Raza is around, because then I don't get to speak. So the only thing I can do is I can smoke,
Smoke.
I can
There you go.
I can be the showpiece where Raza can make a lot of videos of mine, take pictures.
Okay.
So that's the best time.
And kids, when he says take pictures, they're all GP. Let's not get excited. We're not going to be on OnlyFans. Maybe. Usman, here's a question from the guests. Have you smoked the oh my God, Pelosica Epithol? I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sure. So
What?
go into the comments section on your computer and see the guest is asking a
I
question.
am actually going. I can't see the comment section. Oh, okay. Wait. Right.
There you go. You can't see it because his eyes aren't open.
Okay, where is it?
It's in the bottom. Usman, have you smoked?
Oh, Placentia Estipa. No, I have smoked some Placencias. I've not smoked the specific one. I think I would have to say Placencia is a decent brand. I've smoked a few of their cigars. I've liked them, but not this one specifically.
Right. And the guest's comment regarding the cigar ban, which I think is a very cute comment. There are a lot of women that are interesting that I enjoy being around, but I don't think they're beautiful. So I agree with that. I like that. I like that too. That's very cool. So that's a good statement. Kudos to the gentleman from Kansas City. There you go. Congratulations. There you go. Kudos to you. That's a very interesting statement. I like that. Listen, we're having our own cigar herf. This is more fun than a cigar herf. Are you kidding? So
I agree with you.
Cigar herf should just move here. I'm telling you, we should do the cigar herf here should be on Saturdays. And what we'll end up doing is we do the 5-minute history, let Riza have a rant, and then everyone asks questions, and then the whole world becomes the aficionados.
Fair point.
Just to let you know. I listen, that's my job. Like the musical that I sent to you guys a couple days ago, you gotta have a Jew. It's the way it works. It's the way it works. Rizza didn't listen to the music. Usman didn't listen to the music. I think Rizza did because Rizza loved that part. But I said that to him from Monty Python's Spamalot.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was apropos.
I haven't seen Spamalot.
I saw Spamalot.
Monty Python doesn't really do it for me.
I tell you though,
it's go.
No. A lot of their stuff I don't like, but I saw Spamalot because a friend of mine knew one of the guys that was one of the backers, and he says, you should go. So I went there, and I didn't have high expectations, but there was the guy from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Frasier's guy, all these stars, and I'm like, all right, this is either going to suck or be great. And it was the funniest show ever. Enjoyed it. I would, if Spamalot came back to Broadway, I'd see it again. The worst show I saw on Broadway was about 1.5 years ago, was The Music Man with Hugh Jackman. That sucked because you couldn't carry a tune. And I was like, dude, in fact, I left at intermission. That's how bad The Music Man was. I was like, this sucks. I'm leaving. At intermission, I was like, I couldn't wait for intermission. I was timing it. It was worse than Les Miserables, which has 17 intermissions. Oh, that was the worst. I saw that back in the 80s when I was married to my, first wife. Now I'm to my 730th because, I like to change them out. But I remember I'm at the urinal and I'm peeing and I said, thank God it's the intermission. And this guy next to me starts chuckling. And I'm like, why are you laughing? And he says, do you know there's 2 more intermissions? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He goes, oh yeah, it's a long, I'm like, oh. And I sat through that begrudgingly. And I was like, never, ever again, do your parents get to pick a Broadway show ever. So yeah, that was the worst. Then they wanted to go see Cats, which I had one. I don't need to see it. And then we saw Rollerball Express, and I'm like, really? Can you pick a real Broadway show? So it was not a good time for Broadway. So anyway, I digressed. I'm sorry about that. So, and then we have what brand is next week's stream going to be focused on? By the way, if it's a series, continue. Yes, the series will continue.
Yes. Okay, so by now we've done H. Upman, we've done Hoyo de Monterrey, we have done Montecristo. What else have we done, Raza?
Sorry?
We haven't done Cohiba, we haven't done Romeo and Juliet.
I would like for Usman to pick something, not so mainstream. I'd love to, we can have a conversation about Partagas or Cohiba and Romeo and Juliet. Can you pick something slightly tangential that not many people would know, but they would be excited to find out more about?
Okay, I will do that, and let's keep it a surprise in that case.
Ooh, and then we'll post it maybe on Friday. We can post it Friday with what we're going to talk about for the fans.
Can I
Sounds
make a
good to me.
suggestion again? Quaba.
Sure.
I would like for Smart to do something about Quaba at some stage soon. Doesn't have to be next week, because one of my favorite cigars, one of my favorite Vitolas, is a
Father
Quaba.
Solomonis.
The
Okay.
Salamonis, yeah. Which is normally a goodbye present for people who are leaving. But there's another story to that. But Quaba would be a good one
All right.
to attack
The
at
guest
some
is still
stage.
Ramona Jonas. Okay.
Well, now what's
Well,
Roma alone? What's aroma alone?
so the Ramona Jonas. Okay.
Okay.
So I thank you for the suggestion. The only thing is that I've been doing in a way that we go from the light to the strong cigars, but since we did the Montecristo today, it has already broken the chain. So no
Mm.
worries. We'll try to do something which is interesting enough for people,
Okay.
and you can join in. Why not?
Yeah. And then Rizzo will go. Well, this week was kind of fun because the fans asked questions instead of us going off on a rant on something. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was kind of fun. Not like last week when we went off on a rant. So,
Yeah.
or Rizzo did, which was good. Listen, I like the show either way. I enjoy, and I've said this before, and I tell you guys this on air and off air. I like just having my Saturday morning smoke with my mates. And this is like, to me, this is the best week, the best show of our week, because I truly enjoy this. I enjoy all the other shows that I'm on. Like yesterday we had Guy Standing, which I said was a world famous economist, and I enjoy that for another reason, for the mental stimulation and whatnot. But this is where I'm just chilling with my mates, and I get to learn something, and we get to just talk. And I enjoy it tremendously. So, and I hope the fans do too. So there you go.
Yep.
And there you have it. So, kids, is that it? Are we done? Are we going to say goodbye to the fans, and we're going to call it a day?
I think that should do for now.
That is the show. Everybody that watched, thank you for watching live. Thank you for your questions. Next week, we'll see you Saturday. There'll be the rebroadcast in a few hours for the people that want to rewatch it or watch again. And wherever you get your podcasts, you can check the link below. And if you want to listen to it while you're driving or playing golf to annoy people, feel free. And we'll see everybody next week. Riza, as we always remind you, don't hang up. And we'll see everybody next week. Cheers, everybody. Have a wonderful week and be safe, everybody. Gio.
Gio.
Thank God that's all over. Fuck.